Good morning from the city of Pines here in Baguio. I just enjoyed my amazing new wake-up view from my guest house window and had my breakfast in the restaurant downstairs, giving me the necessary power to explore the city. The weather up here is nicely fresh and still a bit foggy mixed up with clouds, so I hope that it will improve as the day progresses. I am now on my way to the city center, and as this road is the extension of the Marcos Highway coming up from Agu, it is unsurprising that it is already fairly busy in the morning. So for anyone who has never been up here to Baguio, let me give you some background of this city. Baguio City is located approximately 1,500 meters above the sea level, and nestled in the northern Luzon tropical pine forests ecoregion, and known as the summer capital of the Philippines, owing the name to its mostly cool climate throughout the year. I have been told that in the past the city of Baguio used to be a vast mountain zone with lush highland forests, teeming with various wildlife such as the indigenous deer, cloud rats, Philippine eagles, Philippine warty pigs, and numerous species of flora. The area was a hunting ground of the indigenous peoples, notably the Ibaloi, which inhabit the southeastern part of the Benguet province, and the other Igorot ethnic groups. The Igorots are the indigenous ethnic group of people who live in the mountains of the Cordillera Administrative Region, up here in the mountain provinces of Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Kalinga, Ifugao, as well as in and around the city of Baguio. I also learned that the term of Igorot is coming from the Spanish word of Igalotes, which means the people of the mountains, and is revered to the pre-Hispanic mountainous highland society. That is including several ethnic linguistic groups from here in the northern part of the Luzon mountainous region, such as the Bontoc, Kankanaey, Ibaloi, Kalinga, Tinguian, and Isneg people. When the Spanish arrived here in the mid of the 18th century, they tried to subdue the Igorot population, but the Spaniards never fully succeeded, as the Igorots were professionals at intensive war and defense tactics, as well as masters in their headhunting skills, and that certainly helped them in defending their ancestral lands from this very mean foreign invaders. And as the story goes, in the year of 1755, the Augustinian friars, Pedro del Vivar, was establishing a mission just outside of Baguio, but was driven out the following year. The Spaniards then tried to regain the mission in the year of 1759, but once more they badly failed, and this prompted the Governor-General Pedro Manuel de Arandia Santisteban, who was a Spanish knight and colonial official and then appointed as the Governor-General of the Philippines from July 1754 until the 31st of May in 1759, to send Don Manuel Arza de Urrutia on a punitive expedition, which ended with the unfortunate result of the entire Augustinian mission completely burned to the ground. However, later during the Spanish rule in the year of 1846, the Spaniards finally succeeded in establishing a command post in the nearby town of La Trinidad, and organized the province of Benguet into 31 small rural settlements, one of which was Cafagüey, a wide grassy area where the present Burnham Park of today is situated. Cafagüey was then a minor settlement consisting of only about 20 houses, with most of the Cafagüey lands owned by the prominent Ibaloi, named Mateo Carino, who served as its chieftain, that owned most of the land that was to become the city of Baguio. And according to the history books, someday in July of the year of 1899, Mateo Carino, together with the Filipino revolutionary forces under the command of Pedro Alejandro Paterno, led a successful revolt against the Spanish garrison in La Trinidad and liberated La Trinidad from the Spaniards. They then took over the government, and proclaimed Benguet as the province of the new Republic of the Philippines, and converted Baguio into a town, with Mateo Carino becoming the president of the new town of Baguio. Nevertheless, when the United States occupied the Philippines after the Spanish-American War, Baguio was selected to become the summer capital of the then Philippine archipelagos. American zoologist Dean Conant Worcester headed an expedition in 1900 after convincing U.S. Secretary of State Elihu Root to order an expedition to a cool place in the northern mountains of the Philippines. Following this expedition, in November of 1903, the American colonial government started to expropriate the lands owned by the Ibaloi people in Baguio and forced them to sell their native lands to the Americans. Then in the year of 1903, the Americans hired Filipino, Japanese and Chinese workers to build the Kenan Road, which was the first directly connecting road from the lowlands of the province of La Union and from the province of Pangasinan to the city of Baguio. Before this, there was only a horse trail leading from the lowland of Nguilian to Benguet in Baguio. In the year of 1808, the Americans built the Baguio Mansion, to serve as the official summer residence of the Governor-General, William Cameron Forbes, so that he could escape from Manila's summer heat and reign the Philippines from the much cooler climate of Baguio. This was also the time when the city planner, Daniel Hudson Burnham, started to plan and design the mountain retreat following the tenets of the City Beautiful movement, which was an American urban planning movement that lasted from the 1890s to the 1920s. They planned the city of Baguio as a convalescent-cum-recreational center and as the highland refuge for the American colonizers, and also included the construction of the Wright Park in honor of the Governor-General Luke Edward Wright, the Burnham Park in honor of Daniel Hudson Burnham, the Governor Pack Road and the famous Session Road. And finally, after all this planning, constructions and beautifications, on the 1st of September in the year of 1909, Baguio was declared as a chartered city and nicknamed as the summer capital of the Philippines. Regardless of all these, the Second World War was for Baguio a disaster, with problems starting when 17 Japanese bombers attacked Camp John Hay on the 8th of December in the year of 1941. Following this invasion by the Imperial Japanese Army, they then started to use the Camp John Hay, which was an American installation in Baguio, as their own Japanese-occupied military base, with the nearby Philippine Constabulary Base, Camp Holmes, being also used by the Japanese as an internment prisoner of war camp for about 500 civilian enemy aliens, mostly Americans, during the time of April 1942 until December in 1944. Unfortunately, the American friendliness ended when they decided to end the Japanese occupation of Baguio by starting to drop 933 tons of bombs and 4,500 liters of napalm, which is a weaponized mixture of chemicals designed to create a highly flammable and gelatinous liquid, onto the city of Baguio and its neighborhood. And this all happened between the 4th and the 10th of March in the year of 1945, and executed by the United States 5th Air Force planes, and reducing much of the city into rubble. The mostly destroyed city and the La Trinidad Valley was eventually recaptured and liberated on the 27th of April 1945 by the Americans. As of today, the city of Baguio is classified as a highly urbanized city, and is the largest city in the province of Benguet, and is the center of business, commerce, tourism and education for the entire region of northern Luzon. Of course, and you might have seen it too, as I was driving along the road, not everything is perfect here in Baguio City, and one of its biggest problems of today is the traffic and lack of parking space here. The city is running out of space as more and more people come here to live, study, work, or simply enjoy the area as a short or long stay tourist, filling up the few roads of Baguio. Another problem Baguio is facing is due to its high altitude and rapid population growth, which is making it difficult for the air pollution to disappear from the valley, sometimes being stagnant for hours or even days, bringing it to the tipping point where they will have to think about restricting the traffic as there is simply too much going on and contributing to the overpollution of the city with nowhere to go. I just arrived in the middle of the city center and during the Panagbenga festival, that is happening right here on the famous Session Road and its surrounding areas, and seeing and experiencing the different stalls offering almost everything from food, clothing, shoes, bags, souvenirs, health advice, and more. You name it, and if you know the Filipinos, they most probably also have it. The Panagbenga festival is also called the Baguio Flower Festival, and is a 1-month-long annual flower festival here in the city of Baguio. It is held every year during the months of February and March, and was created as a tribute to the city's flowers and as a way to rise up from the immense devastation of the Luzon earthquake, which happened back in the year of 1990. The festival includes floats covered with flowers, street dancing, kite flying competition, street market experiences and much more, and it is happening all around this area, as well as on the inside of the Burnham Park. The most anticipated event of this festival is perhaps the Bendian dance, which is a dance from the Benguet Mountain province, that originated as a ritual to celebrate the warriors who returned from headhunting expeditions. The dance is presented by dancers clad in flower-inspired costumes. So if you are also looking for a unique and unforgettable cultural experience, then this is the festival not to be missed, when you are up here in the city of Baguio. Now as I can see here, the Panog Benga festival is not all about floats and fluvial parades, as throughout the month almost the whole city dons its festive attire and offering a smorgasbord of cultural showcases, bustling fairs, and events. Whether I am at the Melvin Jones Grandstand or wandering through the Burnham or any other park, everywhere I am going, I am in for a special treat and surprise. And the more I walk up and down and around, I see virtually on every corner a stage with people performing some kind of art, dance and songs, and using even the smallest space available and turning it into an exhibit or a stall, and showcasing their latest handicrafts or souvenirs. And in doing so, they not only luring the locals but as well as ourselves the travelers, to come and dive into this cultural and amazingly interesting tapestry, and becoming part of this amazing Baguio magic. There are no words to describe my feelings right now. You really have to come and feel the good vibes by yourself, only then you can know the true and enchanting ambience this festival is radiating. I just made a small detour from the market vibes at the Session Road, and coming up here to the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Atonement, also known as the Baguio Cathedral, which is a Roman Catholic cathedral and located at the Cathedral Loop, which is adjacent to the Session Road. Its distinctive exterior, stained glass windows and the twin spires makes it a popular church for weddings, as well as one of the must-see tourist attractions here in Baguio. The church started as a small Catholic mission chapel, back in the year of 1907 by the Belgian missionaries, coming from the Congregatio Immaculati Cordis Mariae, and it stands on the hill referred to as Campo by the Ibeloy people. Then in the year of 1920 the construction of the larger cathedral started under the leadership of the parish priest, Florimond Carlo, and was finally completed and consecrated in the year of 1936. Here I can witness another stage with street dancing and singing that is showcasing the local talents and their creativities. It's part of the many competition all around the town and a feast for the young and old. as the participants giving their best and dress up in colorful costumes and dance to the beat of traditional music, showcasing the culture and heritage of the vibrant Cordillera region.
Try to play some of the requested songs, and unfortunately,
yung request ni Sir
It's the fire in the rain. It's the smile within the pain. It's the logic but insane.
And now, after walking down the Session Road and its many festively decorated stalls, I arrived in Burnham Park. Here I can experience the extension of the festival space, which is currently showcasing the street market experience, and many other attractions such as flower arrangements in many different colors and dotted around its beautiful man-made lake, which is not only a favorite place for the locals but also for the tourists too. The park is really offering many different facilities for recreation and relaxation, such as rowing a boat on the lake, or having a picnic on one of its many lawns, listening to musical performances, riding a bike in the special dedicated area, or like me, just take a leisurely stroll around the park and enjoying a most delicious coffee and strawberry tart in one of its pop-up food stalls. All in all, it is the park you have to visit when you're here in Baguio, as this is the center of happenings, free of any entry charges and a meeting place on a daily basis where all the people come together. And despite the few problems I can see here in Baguio, I will end my video with a nice steak dinner and on a positive note admitting that Baguio is one of my favorite city here in the highlands, as it offers so much of diversity not to be found anywhere else in the northern parts of Luzon. So don't wait any longer, come and enjoy the summer capital of the Philippines, as long as it is still nice and cool up here. Thanks a lot for watching, and I hope that you liked this third episode, exploring the hill station of Baguio here in the highlands of northern Luzon. Good night and see you back in my next part, when I will leave the urban area of Baguio and continue into the direction of the mystical place of Sagada, which is a town in the Cordillera Mountains that is famous for its eerie hanging coffins, which are suspended in the rocky cliffs of the Sagada's Echo Valley.